Hey folks, welcome to Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. Today I'm going to start sowing some seeds and putting in some transplants. But first I'm going to lay down some weed cloth, something I've never done before. Well, all of my garden beds have been filled with weeds this year, especially nutsedge. And nutsedge runs in networks underneath the ground, and it's just been really hard to eradicate. So we've been spending the last 2 weeks, that's a 2-week delay in planting, going through these beds with a digging fork and taking out all the nutsedge by hand and trying to remove all the little networks that we could find, all the nuts down in there. And then we did that, our first pass, then you have to wait a day or two and you'll see them sending up their new shoots. And that's where you can go dig again. And we've been doing this for 2 weeks. I think we've eradicated the majority of the nutsedge from the beds. Although in my blocks along the edge, I've still got some nutsedge. They're just going to send runners up and be problems for me later. But I need to get my garden going right now. So I'm going to deal with the main beds, and then later I'll deal with manually trying to remove all that nutsedge from the blocks. But I'm going to use a weed cloth in my garden this winter. And the hope is that will help suppress some of the weeds and get me a head start when the spring rolls around. I won't have as much nutsedge to deal with then. I got a whole nother bunch of weeds and different kinds of species that come up in the spring garden and the summer garden, especially the vining stuff like what's it called, morning glory. I hate that stuff, but if we lay down some weed cloth, we can cut out holes and plant our transplants. I can't lay down weed cloth where I'm going to grow my carrots because I've got to sow those and then thin them later. But for now, I'm going to put down some weed cloth and see if that gets me any advantages moving forward. I bought this DeWitt Sunbelt woven ground cover, and it was suggested to me, I think it was David the Good, but maybe not. I think this is what he uses to line his nursery area for his trees. But we're going to use this and see how it goes this year. First I got to get it out. Okay, first things first, I've got my soil ready. I need to smooth it out and just level it off a bit. And I've marked the limit with this weeding tool, and back here with my digging fork. I've marked the limit to where I'm going to bring the weed cloth. Right up in there is going to be carrots on my plan for this year. All this is going to be cabbages. So let's get to smoothing and pulling the weeds I see. This weed cloth comes with these pins, these little stakes that you can shove down through it and secure your cloth to the ground. So I'm going to place these every so often. My garden bed is exactly 4 feet wide. This weed cloth is also 4 feet wide, so it should work out. Okay, now that I have my weed cloth staked down, I'm put some stakes here to represent where I'm going to cut my holes, and I'm going to plant some cabbage starts and some cauliflower starts right in here. I'm going to plant them on this line and keep the spacing about 2 feet apart, because these are going to get really big. And this might be even a little bit too close, but that's what we're going with this year. Let me show you how I'm going to do this. Where my mark is, I'm just going to cut an X. Real easy with the utility knife. And all I'm going to do is fold this under, just like so. And there I've got a little planting hole. Now you can come in if you want to mess with it, cut a circle. In fact, let's try that on this next one. So right here we'll try a circle. And that works just as fine. All right. Well, let's get our holes cut and then we'll start planting. All right, this year, this bed is going to be planted in brassicas. I have some store-bought starts. I've got some Bonnie plants here because I really like Bonnie plants. If you don't start your own seeds, and I usually do, but if you don't start your own seeds, Bonnie Plants is a very reputable dealer, and their varieties are usually selected for the region in which they're grown. So these varieties, this cabbage is a Bonnie hybrid, and it's ideal for this area. So we're going to go ahead and plant some of these. I'm going to do 6 cabbages, 4 cauliflowers. Now we have our little holes here. All we have to do is open up a channel there, select a good looking plant, and drop it in. These particular plants are very windblown. We had a front come through today, and over at the Home Depot where I picked these up, they got whipped around. But they're good looking plants. Very simple. Now, if you have leggy cabbages, you don't have to worry. They will grow up and send out some. Once they start sending out big leaves, they will support themselves on those bottom leaves. And whether your cabbages are leggy or not, you don't have to worry about it. Okay, we're all planted, and that's how easy it is. Now, what I might do, I might mulch over this just for looks, but not today. We got to get our plants going. Next step is to grade this out, get some carrots planted. I've got some different kinds of greens that I'm going to sow in here from seed, and maybe put some lettuce starts in there. I'm going to put some more carrots over here as well. Over there, I'm going to put in daikon radishes, and a whole lot of them. And actually I'm going to put some daikons right here too. And when my sweet potatoes over there come out, well, we're going to put some more winter crops in their place. They are producing. I pulled out some sweet potatoes from my container, the one back there against the fence. Got some good ones. So yeah, things are looking up. Once your cabbages or cauliflowers or whatever you're planting are in, it's a good idea to water them in really well. However, we had a big rain last night as the storms blew through, and these cabbages were sopping wet, and the ground is very wet, so I don't believe I need to water these in. But what I'm going to do, if as time goes on, is I'll come in and water these frequently, keep the ground nice and moist, and I will add fertilizer, liquid fertilizer, to these cabbages in the form of fish emulsion. And cabbages are pretty heavy feeders. You want to keep them fertilized, and that'll keep you into some good food. All the brassicas are pretty heavy feeders, and so if your soil is depleted, if you've grown a long time without adding compost or organic fertilizers, you want to keep on top of that. I would suggest fish emulsion or something similar for these cabbages. Maybe at least once a month, maybe every 3 weeks. I'm going to stick with every 3 weeks. What's up, Phoebe? Phoebe's got something wrong with her right ear. She's been shaking her head, and we're not sure what's wrong. We think that she barked herself into maybe a ruptured eardrum. Her barks are so loud that when she barks, she shakes her head. And yesterday she had a very vigorous barking episode because we had an opossum visit. And well, that opossum. You saw the opossum? Huh? Yeah, she hurt her ear last night. The garlic bed. Rachel from Oxheart Gardening came over and helped me learn how to plant garlic. We're waiting for a couple more weeks, and we hope to be seeing some green pop up out of there. But this entire bed is garlic except for that little section right there. And I'm going to look up some plants that make good companion plants to garlic. and maybe put something in right there. If you have a suggestion, leave me a comment. Check out my satsumas. These are Owari satsumas, and they're starting to put on their color. A couple more weeks and we'll be eating some citrus. That's my best performing tree. Sad little tree. It's bent over from the weight of all these. It was bent over before and I tried to straighten it, but it's a losing proposition now with all that weight on there. Hey, I'll take a bent tree that produces that much out of a container. These are going to be good. I'm glad we finally have something in the garden that will make it through the winter. This is about 2 to 3 weeks late for me. You could even say it's a month late, but we finally got it going, and if we don't have any heavy freezes until those cabbages bulk up, we should be into some cabbage and some cauliflower, and that's what I'm really looking forward to. Hey, we're going to plant the rest of our garden in the coming weeks, so stay with us. I'll show you how to plant some interesting oriental greens, some daikon radishes, and how to plant carrots. We're going to do all that in this garden once I get everything ready. Slow but steady. So that's the plan. By the way, if you're in need of a quality seed supplier, check out Seeds for Generations. Their link is down in the description of my video. Family-owned business, great selection of seeds, and you'll be supporting a good effort there to teach children how to do business. The whole family's involved, and so everybody's learning. A great seed company. I get a little bit of a commission if you use my link. Hey, thanks for joining me on Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. Hope you've enjoyed the things that you've seen here. I hope I've earned your subscription. Follow us to learn how to garden throughout the winter in Zone 9 in Texas, on the Texas coast, and pick up some tips if you're not in Zone 9. Hey, thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.